Welcome, Sagittarius. Thanks for joining me at the Lightroom Forecast. This is your reading for this new moon, which is today in Aries, the 1st of April today. So I'm doing all the readings actually this morning. And apologies for subscribers. Thank you kindly, but I could not do the full moon in Virgo signs a couple of weeks ago just because I was in the process of moving. So here we are in situ. Okay, so we've laid the cards in a shortened Celtic cross for you. What appears to be Sagittarius at this time is that you are approaching things in a new way, in a different way, possibly with more of a beginner's mind. There's a lessening of being bogged down, if there was ever any of that, being bogged down by past. We start out with the Page of Swords. To me, this is in regards to understanding power dynamics, largely. It's an adolescent energy. It has to kind of try things out in order to see what works and what doesn't, or investigate certain things. It is crossed and investigate power dynamic between yourself and others. It's very, it's kind of a very sort of sacral solar plexus energy. It is crossed by the Page of Wands, risk-taking. I always say this, risk-taking. It's a very glorious youth. As a symbol, as an idea, you know, that feeling of youthfulness, the vitality of that, Sagittarius. So this is the central point. Now, the basis of all of this is the King of Pentacles. We will go through and clarify, and remember these are really general readings anyway. Strong, benevolent, all those good qualities of a earthed out, getting things done kind of king, which in some ways always reminds me a little bit of Sagittarius, you know, Sagittarians. In the recent past, we have the Three of Swords. We all know what the Three of Swords is. There's a level of grief, pain, but there is an understanding that comes from that, from any experience, ideally, that has initiated that within ourselves. There's an understanding that we move forward from, lessons learnt from the Three of Swords. Current position, we have the Hermit shining the light, a kind of hero's journey, a Virgo card. The cloaked figure, it can be a guidance figure for others. I mean that in the sense that you could be. We withdraw in order to go internally and shine that light. And maybe recently there's been a need to do that for some Sagittarians out there. Moving forward, we've got the Empress, creative, abundant, very much the penultimate example of unconditional love here. Moving forward, we really understand with great grace, actually, whatever lessons we have learnt. Is the idea, and I keep hearing that, the lessons we have learnt. But we're starting off fresh. We're kind of in new ground. We've crossed the bogs, the no man's lands. We've crossed. We've been on this journey. In that we've kind of understood quite a number of things here, Sagittarius, and the Nine of Cups. A very glorious, independent, emotionally independent card, and feeling quite secure in that. The other side of it is complacency, the other polarity of the 9. But we are secure. We know where and what our cups of happiness are. Satisfaction, happiness, all of that thing, all of that stuff. Emotional satisfaction. So let's go through. We will clarify. We use the Thoth deck this time to clarify. Wow, that just popped out. 6 of Wands. There is success in this. You may well be on a road of success. There's a lot of future potential because you are embodying a sort of beginner's mind here in the central point. Let's have a look at this King of Pentacles. Who is this? What is this? Well, initiating a change, retaining a level of balance in the process of change. Now, the 2 of Discs in the Thoth deck is called change. We have Ouroboros here, the figure 8, the symbol of infinity. We're keeping balance in what is a moving environment, a changing environment, actually quite a difficult sort of environment if you're looking at it on a really wide level, in quite a wide lateral way. We are in times of great change, but interestingly, it comes out with the 8 of Discs. You've been at it. You've been working. The 8 of Discs. There's something that always comes from this, perfecting something, be it in yourself or an actual physical, tangible thing. There is always something that comes out of this, that is born of it, that needs protection. Is what I get from that card. So burgeoning growth needs to be protected, needs to be launched slowly into the world, if that makes sense. So we look at the 3 of Swords here in the past. We're looking at that position. We get the Princess of Discs. The Princess of Discs is a seasonal card. It is about bringing in something new. I think, to me, it speaks of possibly in the past when you have tried to give birth to certain things, it's been blanketed somehow. It's been stalled somehow in the past. That is not what is happening in the present, because you've shifted the script, your own script. You've shifted the narrative, I guess, which is a popular word that everyone uses now, isn't it? Narrative. You've changed that for yourself, which is marvelous. Whatever this is about, Sagittarius, could be about family, work, living, traveling. The Hermit, yes. Well, the Hermit, we get the 4 of Swords. Respite. A time of, what can you say, healing. And we get a lot of information here. Taking time out, we get a lot of information, that can support us and make us feel comfortable in our choices or in the direction that we are choosing to go in at this current time. Downloads, information. It's a great place. It's a great place. It's a useful state, the 4 of Swords. And it is usually required at certain times that we allow that for ourselves. Healing. Let's look at the Empress. Sagittarius. Empress. Wonderful, wonderful, creative. It's as if it's as if at this current time, you know, like the Temperance card, it's as if the timing is right. That the bubbling and the boiling in the laboratory or the temple, it is the right time for the process to come into the world, for us to see it materialize. Because I do think in the past, possibly, there have been unfocused energies that have detracted or distracted you from bringing whatever this is, because you are bringing something new in, you're on a new track, as I said before. But we get the Prince of Swords. Thought forms we get taken in many directions with this card. It is a card of distraction, actually. And sometimes that's for a purpose. I do see it in this reading as part of something that has happened or time periods in the past, and that stopped you from bringing certain things through that you wanted to. Now, this could be about work or creativity. I mean, what's the difference? There is none. In my mind, it could be about anything. But yeah, in the past, that's not necessarily. It's as if there have been other sort of influences or other possibly priorities that you had to focus on first. But with that, looking at the Empress, we've got the we've got the Empress again. We see Empress again, Knight of Wands. It's as if, you know, whatever this process has been for you or is at this time, it's given you a huge amount of drive and vitality in your ability to love. I mean, it's like amping it up. It's like high voltage self-love, and therefore, you know, that spreads out into your environment. Like it's high voltage stuff. The Knight of Wands with the Empress, it's like the Empress on steroids, actually. You know, so it's pretty interesting. She's taken off. She's gone AWOL. Sagittarius, she's gone AWOL. It's like a love bomb, you know. It's like a love bomb. And 9 of Cups, please. So there's a great blossoming, and we get the 10. There's a great blossoming. This is 10 of Cups. Full expression of wealth in an emotional sense. And you're seeing it around you. You're walking through the trees, and this is like the hanging fruit. It's sort of brushing up against you. You can smell it. You can see it. It's just all around you. This glorious, juicy fruits of love, you know, Sagittarius. So it's pretty gorgeous because we get what we put in, you know. We get out what we put in, ideally. But I do believe that. So let's just get a Brian Froud, Pixie and Fairy for you, Sagittarius. Can we get one card even from the Pixie and Fairies? We've got probably far too many. But what we do have is quite a succinct explanation of sorts of why, you're infused with this incredible bounty within yourself. We'll just read them as they came out. Sagittarius, let's not muck around. Phoenix rising from the ashes. Singer of transfiguration. We shift and change the energy. As I said, you've altered your script and your narrative of your life. And that's not an easy thing to do. We have the singer of courage. Couldn't be more self-explanatory. We have the spirit dancer breaking through to full expression. I mean, this is full Kate Bush in red in that forest singing Wuthering Heights. This is full expression. Breaking through any boundaries or bondage that you had within yourself. It's beautiful. And we get the piper. The time was right. You heard the call. You heard the call, and it's like, well, I know this is right. Take in the self, effervescent, vital, sort of like an atom, I mean, this is like zizzing everything up. I mean, it's infusing everything in your life. And it's a journey that you've taken on board yourself, for yourself. So Sagittarius, pretty glorious actually. So on that note, take good care, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Full moon in Libra should be quite a good one, I think. Okay, see you, Saggy. Bye. Ka kite.